Welcome back. So, I guess you've seen I've been doing the mirrors and stuff on the bike. We have not had good weather yet here in Ontario to even ride. Today it's going to be 15. Tomorrow's giving like 16 or 17. I think this is the first back-to-back 2 days we're going to have for riding. We are officially in May, so we don't really even have a spring if you ask me. But I have some things to do to get the bike back ready for the road. We have to put all the fairings back together. I did a quick ride the other day with the mirrors. The adjustability on the mirrors is decent. It's not great. I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do like a review video on the mirrors probably after this. But yeah, we need to get the fairings back on the bike, all the center cowl pieces. Basically everything has to go back together. I'm going to grab the camera. I'm going to show you what we need to do. So here's all the inner cowl pieces that we still have to put back on the bike. You can see it's fairly naked in here because I had to strip it all just to get to the mirror mounts. But that's all done. So it's time to put her back together. And you can see all these little tabs. Tab. There's so many little tabs here where all your little fairing pieces clip in. And I've just got the screws in here right now, just so I wouldn't lose them. Here, and here. So you can see I have all the fairings off the bike, right and left side. And also on top of that, we have our little special coming as well. So my intake vents, well, I wouldn't even call it that. I don't even think it's a functional. I think it's just more aesthetics. So I've got the intake vents off as well. Right side, left side. And I hope you can see it in the video. So I've actually done some more carbon dipping. So I have a set of carbon dipped front vents. Just to kind of go with what we've been doing on the bike. The carbon mirrors. I got the carbon. I've got the carbon Puig tire hugger. I've got the rear seat cowl, which are probably almost impossible to buy these days, and this is carbon dipped as well. We've got a carbon tank protector. So yeah, that's the theme we're going with on the bike. So anyways, let's start getting some of the fairings in. I'm going to start with the center cowl pieces. Get these in first. She's fairly naked. Oh, and I forgot to mention, we do have the, if you haven't seen it before, check some of the other videos. We have the carbon fiber full Hindle exhaust system. Actually, I'll give you a shot of. So this is all done by Hindle. Headers, everything straight back. This is a full system. So you can buy this on their website. This is the very first one in the world. If you watch some of the previous videos. Mine is actually the pattern for this setup. So, but yeah, so she's full carbon everywhere. Okay, so this is the we're gonna put the, I guess, the gauge cluster cowling or whatever you want to call it in first. So I've got 2 bolts here that I just put in place just to not lose them. So let's start by taking those out. You can see these little tabs sliding around, so hopefully they don't slide too far. Geez, how long is this bolt? Okay, there we go. Alright, so we're going to So basically, just drop the center cowl, make sure your bars are straight, and then drop your center piece straight in. There's a lot of little tabs and whatnot, so it's a bit... Hopefully I get them all in the right spot. Okay, so everything's lined up there. Okay, so... Alright, let me put the bolts back in. It's starting to look like a bike again, just with putting the one piece on already. So as I'm tightening these down, I'm squeezing the cowling in just to make sure that we have a nice fit, nice tight fit. Okay, so snugged up. Everything looks good here. So there's also two push pins. There's one right here. So in order to do this, let me see. So you pop the little pin out first. I'll do the same on the other one here. So push the thing in, pop the pin. You can hear it snap in place. Alright, so our center, it looks like our center cowling is in place, so it's nice and secure. It's just the two screws and the two little push pin tabs. Just check all your lines, make sure everything's tight, there's no gaps. Okay, so it looks pretty good. So I'll just show you quickly on the side what I mean about the gaps. When you put this together, just kind of give it a squeeze, just to kind of seal up any gaps that might be here. Hopefully you can see it. I know the lighting's not the best here on this side, but I'll come around to the other side. So yeah, this is what I mean by the gaps. Like, see how everything's nice and tight here? There's no spacing. That's because when I bolted this in, I actually pushed this together to kind of give it a tighter fit. So yeah, the first piece is in. On to the next. Alright, so now that our first piece is in, we're going to put in the next two pieces are these little side dash cowlings. I don't know what else you would call them. So again, it's just one little screw here that I put in place just to not lose it. This side is more of like a clip-in type thing, and this screw just kind of secures it. So I'm going to take the one out on that side, I'm going to grab the other side at the same time. You're not going to see this one on the video, but that's okay. Okay, so I have the two screws out. So this side is a little trickier. You can see hopefully you can see. So there's a tab, and there's a lot of little small tabs down along the side. So I don't really know exactly how I got this out before. Let's just fiddle with it here and see what happens. I'm going to try to put the tabs in. I think you have to put the tabs in up on the top piece first and just kind of get them lined up. There's another tab.
And then I think once everything's lined up, you just kind of push it forward, I believe. Yeah, this thing is tricky. Oh, there we go. So once you get all your tabs lined up, just along the edge of your fairing here, there's those little clips. You basically hold the cowling to the piece, line your tabs up, and then you just push it forward. You can see there's one more clip down bottom that's not quite in. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it actually is in place. The hardest part now is probably going to get this stupid little screw in. Once the little carrier nut or whatever you call that thing behind it gets misaligned. Yeah, this is exactly what happened. It won't thread through, it's not lined up. I have this problem with the lower cowling all the time. It's just like things are misaligned and they don't, the angle you put the screw in on, it has all that. It's related to everything. Usually I just change the angle of the screw and it'll grab. And nope, it's not grabbing. This is the pain in the ass part. It takes you longer to put one screw in than it does to put the whole freaking bike back together. Come on, grab, will ya? This is ridiculous. I hate this kind of shit. Like, you would think it'd be so simple. One screw, put it in the hole, right? Yeah, nice and simple. I can't even get my hand under the cowling to adjust the little lock washer, nut, whatever there. So you just fuck around with it until it maybe goes in, basically. I've actually broken a couple of these before too. See? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, look at this. It just will not grab the nut on the back side. I hate these things. They're horrible. Okay, fuck it. Let's put the other side in. So same thing. It's got all these tabs. So let's see. See if I can get this piece in as easy as well, not as easy, but. So again, I'm starting with the little tab. Basically, actually, let's get this out of the way for a second. I'm starting with the main tab. Don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Anyway, I'm starting with the big tab here on this plastic piece. That's the piece I usually line up first, but all three of those tabs do have to go in. Okay, so I have my three front tabs lined up. So I'm going to lay the piece down and slide forward. I don't know how I got the other side in so easy. Usually these are a pain in the ass, as you can see. Okay, there we go. So I got the final clip in place. So all the top clips are locking in now between the two pieces. It actually looks like it's sitting in the right position. So let's try this. Let's try this screw. Hopefully we have better luck. Yeah, it's gonna be the same fucking thing. It won't thread the fucking bolt. Actually, you gotta reach way down from under the bike. I don't even know what I can really do except just one of those things you gotta fiddle with till it gets in the right position. I've tried all kinds of things. I've tried just going backwards for a half thread. It's hopefully it'll grab, but it doesn't grab. Like, I fucking hate these things. You would think it's so fucking simple. Need to get some light. Yeah, see, I don't understand. Like, I can see right through the hole. It shouldn't even be an issue. I can see right through the hole, right into the locking nut on the bottom. But like I say, usually it's just you tilt the angle, the bolt one way, and it'll thread. Okay, so yeah, we got this one. So squeeze everything together, tighten it in. God, I hate those things. Okay. Just gonna move the camera here again quickly. So we have another pop pin here, same as the last one. So just push the pin out like I've already done, and I know you may not be able to see this, I'm sorry guys, but this is just to hold the two fairing pieces together, like after your tabs, so you can see all the, hopefully you can see all the lines, everything's good here, everything's clipped in properly, there's no gaps, and we're bolted in. So this side is finished. Alright guys, so I finally got the bolt in. Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass. And then I got the, so I just popped the other push pin in. You can see it right there. So that's done. So our three center pieces that I had removed basically to get at the mirrors, it's all been put back together. So your left side, your center, your right side. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put the front pieces back in as well. These were removed to get them carbon dipped. I hope you can see it on the camera. And this side as well. These should be a lot quicker and easier than the stupid little side pieces. Alright, so we're going to start on the right side. Let me figure out which one is the right side here again. So these, there's one screw right here in the front. This holds that front air duct in. These are a little tricky. Sometimes I loosen the side piece off here, the other 2 or 3 screws that we have through the side piece, and then I tighten it up after. Just so we have a little bit of play here when we put the piece in. So yeah, this is our carbon dipped intake vent. And I'm just kind of lining up the tabs. I don't remember how exactly everything fits. I think it just slides in like everything else. I could be wrong. Yeah, so same as everything else. Line your tabs up. You pull it forward a little bit and then you slide it in. And by sliding it in, it should lock it into place. I don't think it's quite in all the way just yet. Oh, I snap there. Maybe that's a good sign. No, we're not in here still. Oh, that sounded good. That sounded like we're in the right spot. Why am I out? Actually, I think it's still not quite right. Hold on a second. It could be there's a little bit of, I see there's a hole here and there's a pin that has to come through the hole. I'm wondering if the carbon dipping has filled the hole in a little bit. Actually, no, the hole is good. Alright, let's try this again. It's just all these little clips have to basically go in at the same time. It is a bit tricky. So I'm going to line up my side tabs. Damn, this thing is going to look pretty sweet when I have it all back together. The carbon actually really sets off the red and it blends in nicely with the black plastic. Okay, I cannot get this thing in far enough for some reason. Oh, there we go. There we go. You want to make sure it's tight right here. There are little clips that slide in when you slide the whole piece in together. Okay, so that piece is in. I'm going to lock it in with the screw. And I'm actually going to tighten the side back up now. I always loosen up just for play. Okay, our first grill is in. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. I hope you can see it. Like, it looks pretty sharp. I didn't want to dip the whole thing in carbon. I just wanted like carbon accents. And yeah, this thing looks pretty sharp. Alright guys, so we're going to come to the left side of the bike. Same thing, I'm going to loosen off the plastic just a little bit to give it some play. So just enough to give you some room here to wiggle things around. So this is our, so again, this is the carbon dipped. So the easiest way is to put them straight in. And there's two tabs on the, 2 or 3 tabs on the top, 2 tabs on the bottom. Those are the ones you want to line up first. This other piece here, you want to hold it tight against the cowling and slide it in until it snaps into place. And actually that one is so much easier. I'll bring it around to the side here and you can see, yeah, as long as this is tight here, we're pretty good. I'll bring it around to the side. So hopefully you can see this little tab right here, that it's just a hole in the plastic piece, and that's just to line the thing up. So once you have that hole in the right tab and everything else here looks tight, it's you're in the right spot. So let's put a screw in this guy. So again, I start here in the front. This screw actually has a little bit of a plastic piece on the back. I don't know why they selected this screw, but I always put it back in. It's probably just in case you're jabbing your hands around underneath the fairings and you don't want to get cut or just a scratch, who knows. But I put it back in anyway. I just hold the rubber piece up against the back of the screw, tighten it in, and you can feel it when it comes tight. You're good to go. Okay, let's tighten our side cowling back up again. Alright, so we have, I hope the lighting is good enough to see it. Like, maybe the lighting doesn't actually do it justice, I'm not sure. I can tell, like, it looks awesome. I'll get some better pictures when it's outside. Maybe tomorrow when it's sunny, riding around on the bikes. That's why I'm doing all this stuff today, because tomorrow I am riding. So yeah, all the other pieces are on now. It's taken me a long time to get to this part, just because the weather's been absolute shit, to be honest. So I really wasn't in a rush and didn't even have the motivation to even work on the bike. I was like, what's the point? Like, it's depressing when it's May and we really haven't had any real good ride days other than one here, one there. I'm not sure if something else is hitting here or what's going on. There we go. So I'm just going to put one bolt here in the top just to kind of tack it in place. This is usually the best way to do it. So I just put one here just to line everything up. Then I start with the bigger bolt here near the back, because again, this is positioning. Don't know if you can hear my cat in the background, but she's going crazy. Okay, so there's two of the big bolts. Okay, so there's the three big ones. Now let's put the other two. These actually don't go in too bad. I never had problems with these lining up. Once all three bolts are in, you can just maybe just position the fairing a little bit, like toward the top, less gaps, and just tighten them up. Alright, so there's our left fairing. The left fairing's all bolted up, 3 on the top, 2 on the bottom, 1 on the back near the seat. So we'll go around to the other side. Alright guys, so now we're on the right side of the bike. Let me just check these clips here. They look okay. I usually don't move them. Like I say, if you move those, chances are your fairing isn't going to fit properly. So start at front. There's a little tab in the front. It locks in. It locks everything in together. So I usually start there, wrap it around. There we go. So let's get one in the middle here, just to hold it up. Frees up your hands. So just like the other side, we're actually going to start with the back bolt here by closer to the seat. they're not quite lined up for some reason here. Maybe I just have it on the wrong angle. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that one's tight. Get the bottom one here, down by the engine. Tight. Get the front one that attaches to this, I guess you call it a stay bracket, I don't know what you call this thing. Little metal tabs. Okay, so that one's tight. Now let's do our top three. And again, I'm going to push it upward just to try to minimize gaps in the fairing. And we're going to tighten all three down. So there we go. So these two fairings, they actually come together. But usually what I do is I overlap them. You'll find that one will go on top of the other or vice versa. There we go. So the way it goes, so the left fairing actually goes ahead of the right fairing, and in the back the left fairing also sits on top of the right fairing. So that's how it goes together. Little push pin for the center, pop it in, there you go. So that's that. Next is the center cowl, which can be a real bitch on its own, so we'll come back in a second. Alright guys, last piece for the bike. Bit tricky. These are the hardest of all the screws on the bike to get in, I can guarantee you that. This is like, get lucky. This is worse than the top fairing with the screws not lining up. Absolutely horrible. Oh wow, I actually got the first one actually threaded in. It's not common for that to happen. Wow, there's two done. That's three. Wow, this must be my lucky day. I should go buy a lotto ticket. Wow, all four just threaded in. I don't think I've actually had this on any quicker. Like, I think I just won the lottery. All four of these holes lined up right away, and I was able to thread them in instantaneously. Alright
Alright guys, so that's it. That's how you get all your fairing pieces back on the bike, including the center cowl pieces. It's time to go riding. Thanks for watching. I'll do a better view of the carbon stuff once I get outside today, probably. And yeah, thanks for watching guys. Ride safe, wheels down.